Welcome to the 3B.2 note set on prepositions of location and disjunctive pronouns. Let's start with prepositions of location. Prepositions of location describe the location of something or someone in relation to something or someone else. You'll see examples of this on the second slide. Prepositions that you already know are a, meaning to or at, de, meaning of or from, and also en, meaning in some instances. This chart shows the list of vocabulary that are prepositions of location for this note set and for this unit. Some of them have de, some of them do not have de. If it has a de, there will be a further explanation on how to attach it to the rest of the sentence. However, if it does not have de, for example, with dans or derrière, you simply plug it into the sentence, and it's very similar to an English sentence. So, the bookstore is behind the university, la librairie est derrière l'université, practically word for word. However, ones with de are idiomatic. My house is far from the city. The expression loin de fully has to be there. If there's a de on this chart from this page, you also have to have it in your sentence. And then the rest of it is pretty straightforward as far as translation. To or in geographical locations has a whole bunch of rules, and you just kind of have to make sure that you're taking the time to look it up and make sure that you're using the right one. This slide will help a lot. To say that you're going to a city or to say that you're in that city, you simply use a. You will never really use dans just to say that you're in Park Ridge or Niles, for example. To say I'm in Niles, je suis à Niles. To say she is in London, elle est à Londres. Londres is the French spelling for the city of London. For countries, there are different rules. All countries have gender. To say that you're going to or you're in those countries, there are three possibilities. For feminine countries, you are en that country. So France, Belgium, and Ireland are all feminine and singular countries. Therefore, they take this preposition en. For masculine countries, you say you are au, those countries. So Congo, Maroc, and Brazil are all masculine and singular. That's why you're using au in front of each of those. For plural countries, you are aux, that's the plural form. So you are aux États-Unis, you are aux Pays-Bas. Any country that is defined in French as a plural word will have aux in front of it. With de, you have this special step that you have to be aware of in order to have a correct sentence. You are going to be using the à côté, and instead of de, you have a couple of exceptions for what changes here. The de has been replaced by du, which is the masculine form of this de contraction. If you have a masculine singular noun, your de will become du. If you have a masculine and plural noun, your de will become des. So instead of près de, you have près des. There are intensifiers that go with this vocabulary. Words like tu or juste can be added to sentences to show exactly how close or far or whatever the proximity is of the sentence. Or if my sister lives right next to the university, I can add juste to my à côté de to make it a little bit more precise. If Jules and Alain work very near or very close to the campus, you can add the word to intensify how near exactly. The word chez has no English equivalent exactly. It expresses the idea of at or to someone's house or place. So maybe even the word home would be better because you're not using the word maison in this at all. But Arnold's house, you would say house in English, or you would even just leave the word house. So chez Arnaud implies Arnaud's home or house. Chez sa cousine means at his cousin's home or his cousin's place or simply at his cousin's. Not all English speakers leave the apostrophe S without the word house or home in front of it, or after it rather. So if you have chez, you're not using any other prepositions, and you're certainly not using the word maison. Chez is also something that is used for a professional office or business. So chez le docteur means at the doctor's office. The office is implied. Chez la coiffeuse is at the hairdresser's place of business. The place of business is implied. In the video for this chapter, Rachid on travaille chez moi. We're going to go study at my place or my home. And in this picture, Stefan est chez Rachid. It's just explaining that Stefan is at Rachid's place or home. Disjunctive pronouns are often used with prepositions of location, and every subject pronoun that you know has a corresponding disjunctive pronoun. The subject pronouns are listed first, very familiar. The disjunctive pronouns and their English equivalents are underlined. So I has the equivalent disjunctive pronoun of me. To say Maryse is working next to me, you don't use the je, you use the me instead. To say he prefers, or sorry, it's I prefer, to dine at their house, you don't use il plural, you use the corresponding subject or disjunctive pronoun me, or that's the corresponding one for il plural. If we're thinking about him, you don't use the subject pronoun he, you have the corresponding disjunctive pronoun lui. If you've gotten this far, this was the practice slide for right after you wrote the notes down. If you want to redo them and check your answers with me or check your spiral for the corrections or any questions that you may have, feel free. This is the end of the note set.